Hello, my name's Kath. I'm a teacher here at Creative Glass Guild, and today on CGG TV I'm going to be demonstrating a variety of glass cutting techniques and introducing you to the tools that allow you to cut straight lines, circles and curves. Before you begin cutting glass, it's important to know the different types of glass cutters that are available, so you're able to choose the one that suits you best. Our most popular type of cutter is a pencil grip cutter, which, as the name suggests, is held like a pencil. We sell 3 different types of these cutters at Creative Glass Guild: the value cutter, the Toyo Super cutter and the professional grip cutter. These are identical in terms of how they're used, but the more expensive versions are sturdier and longer lasting. We also offer a pistol grip cutter and a custom grip cutter, both of which are easier to hold, benefiting those who suffer with conditions such as arthritis or that struggle applying strong pressure to their score. The first technique I'm going to show you today is how to cut a straight line. It's a 2-pronged process. You score the glass and then break the glass along that score using a couple of different options of tools and techniques, which I'll show you shortly. The cutter I'm going to be using today is a Toyo Super cutter. We really like these because they've got a really strong head. It's a tungsten carbide wheel, which is what actually makes contact with the glass, and it's a man-made diamond, so it's really strong. And that's fed by oil, which comes down through it, and if you're going to be making a score, it just lubricates it so you're not going to get any splintering. The type of glass I'm going to be using is a 3mm float glass, so that's going to be the same thickness as most glasses you'd use for a stained glass or fusing project, and it's a really good practice glass because it's cheap and it's flat. 2 really important things to remember health and safety wise before we begin. Obviously you're going to be handling glass that's got raw edges, so just be careful and don't run your fingers along them. And secondly, protect your eyes. Put some safety glasses on just to be safe. So I'm going to grab my cutting square, which is going to give me a 90-degree angle on the glass, and then we're going to be cutting the glass end to end. You can't just score part way across the glass because it has to break off somewhere, and if you don't score all the way, it's just going to break off anywhere, so it has to have a whole score to follow. So with just the amount of pressure that the cutter will give me, end to end. And the first method I'm going to demonstrate to break the glass is with my hands. If you can do it with your hands, it's really good to get that confidence going, and also it's the most efficient way to get a clean cut. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to put my first fingers parallel to the score with my thumbs pressing on top, and I'm just going to snap it. Okay? The second method I'm going to demonstrate is my Grossin pliers. These are really good if you just want to cut a thin strip. They act as your second hand, and they're just going to help you to get a better grip on the other side of the glass as you break it. So just cutting a thin strip, scoring again end to end towards myself, and then with the Grossin pliers just breaking that strip off. The third tool I'm going to demonstrate is the cut running pliers. These just allow you to push a little bit of air into the score if you're not so confident with your hands. So with the arrow on the top, just pressing against the score there and snapping it off. Now this last technique I'm going to show you is really popular on our courses. It's just a simple method of turning the glass over and just gently pressing the score. So those are 4 different ways of breaking the glass after you've scored a straight line. The second technique I'm going to show you today is how to cut a curved score. So this time with my glass cutter, I'm not going to use my square. I'm going to use the extra hand to put a little bit of pressure on top of my cutter to help me control where I'm guiding it, because obviously I want to follow the line quite accurately. So at the end again, following end to end. You can take your time with this, you don't have to rush, just make sure you do it accurately. And then, just the same as the straight line, you can use any of those tools to break that score. So in this instance, I'm just going to use my hands. Okay? So any piece you're ever going to cut is going to be a series of straight line and curved scores. So if you can master straight lines and master curves, then you're going to be able to cut every piece in your design. I'm now going to demonstrate how to use the brass circle cutter. This is a really great efficient tool for cutting crisp circles that are a specific size. If you wanted to cut a circle with your regular cutter and tools, you could, but it would take a lot longer and you're not going to have nice crisp edges that you're going to get with the brass circle cutter. So what you're looking at here, you've got a suction cup here, which is what's going to attach to the glass in the centre of the circle. And you've got a ruler on this brass part here that lets you choose what size you want your circle to be. The wheel of the cutter is in this part here. It isn't oil fed, so I just need to dip that in a little bit of oil before I begin to lubricate my score. So this is the piece of glass that I'm going to cut a circle out on. I'm going to attach the suction cup to the centre there. Just check I can get all the way around. Great. So I'm just going to go around very gently first of all, putting a little bit of oil on there and just checking that's the size I want it to be. And then I'm going to go round in one score with about 3 pounds of pressure. And I can hear it click where the score first began. And you just want to go around once. So now I need to start thinking about this score as a series of scores, because I can't break it in one because of the density of the curve. So starting in this corner, I'm just going to concentrate on this part of the curve and follow it around. Meeting the circle there, and then coming away from it up here, in as natural a curve as I can. So I'm going to break that with my hands. So there's my first part of the circle there. Then moving on to this part of the curve, following it around naturally, and then coming off it here. I'm going to go from the square side of the piece of glass to break it, because I can get an even hold on each side. Next part of the curve. Again, going from the square side to break it. Next part of the curve. And you can do this in as many curves as you like and are comfortable with. Almost there now, just 2 little bits to go I think, 2 more scores, following that curve around. And I haven't got much space to grab that one, so I'm just going to grab my cut running pliers. And the last bit I'm going to grab with my grazing pliers. Okay, and there you have your circle. If you've got any nibbly bits, you can just grab those with your grazing pliers and pull those away with the same motion as you would with a strip when you were cutting a straight line or a curve. And there you have it, a perfect circle that you can use for a bowl infusing, or you could use as a stained glass panel, or anything you like really. All of the tools I've demonstrated today can be bought in store or on our website at www.creativeglassguild.co.uk. See you next time.